Am I the a-hole for telling my mom to spend money on a tutor for her favorite daughter because I won't be helping my sister? My parents had me, 16 female, and my sister, 14 female. We lost our dad a few years ago. My mom has heavily favored my sister since she was born, to the point she has raised my sister to be a pretty shitty person to be around. At least she is to me. Dad noticed it and called mom out, and at some point they did therapy where apparently it came to light that the grandmother she named me after was a person my mom had a lot of resentment toward. Why she named me after her then I will never really know. She claimed not to realize at the time. But she at least has some resentment toward me based on that. She also had some PPD when I was born and claimed the early months with me were a very dark time. Whenever we fight, she takes my sister's side regardless of what happens. Sister takes food off my plate. Won't get in trouble. If I yell at her for it, I get punished. If I take food off my sister's plate in return, I get punished. Sister takes something from my room. Nothing said. I bang on her door after she locked it and try to get it back. Punished for harassing my sister and making noise. I tell my mom about this stuff happening. She says something about learning how to share, or my sister being the baby, or my sister needing more, so let it go. My sister loves to gloat that mom loves her more. My sister has told me that mom has told her she loves her but tolerates me. My sister told me mom wishes I had died instead of dad. She told me they talk about that stuff. She also told me after dad died mom pulled all the money from my college savings and put it into hers. My sister also lies to mom and claims I did stuff when she feels like I didn't get in enough trouble recently. In June she got me grounded for the whole month by breaking her laptop and claiming I had done it. She knew it would be believable too because I resented mom for buying my sister a brand new gaming laptop while I had to buy a really cheap second-hand one myself, with money from my birthday and Christmas. Mom didn't even let me say anything and my sister gloated that mom will always believe her over me. It came to my mom's attention a few months ago that my sister is struggling in school in a couple of places and she can't seem to catch back up easily. But I always had good grades. I could even graduate early in theory, if my school offered that. They don't. My mom is aware of this from past years. So she told me a couple of weeks ago that I need to start tutoring my sister before she gets into a hole she can't climb out of. I told my mom I won't help my sister. Mom told me I will and it's my duty to help. I told her to spend money on a tutor for her favorite daughter because I won't do a thing to help either of them with this. I told her they don't deserve my help. Mom asked how I could put my sister's future at risk. I shrugged. Mom called me names and slammed a door when she left me. The tension is high because of this and my sister is loving it. Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole. Tell her you don't have the time. Since she allegedly took everything from your college fund, you need to work extra hard for scholarships. Your sister has a cushion you don't. When and if she denies, bring up all the lies your sister has told you. It's ugly, but a necessary fight. You can finally know if they were lies or not. If she doesn't deny the allegations though, just walk out. Stay in the library longer, or think of getting a part-time job. Anything to avoid them. Stand your ground though. Your sister will put all potential fuck-ups on your head. You don't want to be responsible for her grades or future. The duo will likely harass you for the rest of your life saying her life is shit cause you intentionally sabotaged it or something. She likely will ruin it out of spite just like her laptop. Stay as far away from it as possible.
The sad thing is, I believe what my sister told me, or at least that there's a lot more truth than lie in there. Most people would say don't believe that of your parent's parent, but I believe it based off of my experiences with my mom. I had a part-time job for a while until my mom called and got me fired from it.
What even for? You aren't allowed to work. Just use this as an opportunity to clear the air, instead of living in doubt. You will have a clearer picture of what to do next, for your career and life. Figure out how. Cheer up, even if they don't love you, there's one person who always will. Yourself. Your dad had such faith in you too. You have great potential. Don't let them squander it, live your life. You matter. There's whole wide world outside your mom's cis drama.
She said it was because I refused to use the small discount I got where I worked and bring stuff home for my sister when I finished each day. But I think my mom just hated that I got the job in the first place and was doing all right. Or maybe both. If I had been pampering her little spoiled princess, maybe I would have been allowed to keep working.
Wow. Your mom sounds awful. You can emancipate at 16. If it was something that could work out for you. 'Cause that situation sounds terrible, and any kid should be with people who love and respect them. Not the a-hole.
Emancipation is not an option for me. I have researched and asked a lawyer I know. In other states I would have a chance, but we really only allow it in a select few cases.
As a mother, your post and your life breaks my heart. No mother should treat their child like you are being treated. Have you any grandparents, aunts or uncles on your father's side that you can talk to or that will take you in? You should tell your mother your sister told you that she put your college fund into her golden failure at school child, and therefore you are not doing anything to help your spoiled brat of a sister. If you help your sister and she still gets low grades, you will be blamed, not her.
I don't. My dad's side of the family is very religious, and they wanted nothing to do with my dad or me because I was conceived before my parents were married. They didn't even come to my dad's funeral.
Not the a-hole. Instead of telling your mom it's about favoritism, tell your mom that you aren't a good teacher, and that your sister deserves the best, and that you don't want to be responsible for her grades because you know that the dynamic between you isn't conducive to learning, and then don't do it. Because it's shitty. This is the hogwash she can lap up because it suits the narrative she already carries, right? Not a good truth, but a believable one for her. Hold on, Han. In a few short years you will be able to grab your college fund, and hopefully a scholarship, and bug out of there fast. Do so. You deserve the best.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to apologize to my friend's boyfriend? This is so fucking stupid. I feel like I'm in high school again. I, 34 female, have a friend named Summer, also 34 female, who's a free spirit. In high school, she got sent home multiple times for going to class barefoot. She dropped out of college and hitchhiked to Mexico one summer, didn't tell anyone where she was going. She forgets to pay her phone bill, so she's occasionally unreachable. I know that sounds like a lot, and it'll sound like even more by the end of this, but we've been friends since we were 10. I don't care that she's a mess. I love her. We're in this for the long haul. Summer's boyfriend, Will, is the opposite of her, and I'd hoped he'd mellow out her wild side. You know how Summer forgets to pay her phone bill? Well, apparently she did it again. I found out when Will called me Friday morning while I was at work. He said he was having trouble locating Summer. I said, yup, that's Summer for ya. If you get a hold of her, please tell her to call me. Best of luck. Then I hung up, thinking nothing of it. Will rang me again and demanded to know where Summer is. I truthfully said that I have no idea, but I'll call her parents for him and see if they know. I went to do exactly that, but Will called me again before I could. I answered, and it was the same question but angrier. Where the fuck is my girlfriend? I'll spare you the suspense. This went on for quite some time. Absolutely no clue why Will was convinced I know where Summer is, but I told him exactly where I last saw her and that she disappears like this routinely, which he damn well knows. They've been together for a year. I used the plainest language possible, but Will just wouldn't relent. He called me about 50 times. I put it on silent at first, but by the 51st time, I'd had enough. I answered and said, bro, stop blowing up my phone. I don't know where Summer is, and I'll block you if I have to. You're going to get me fired. Then I turned my phone off. Today, Summer called me. I was expecting some form of explanation, but she opened with, I'm handing the phone to Will. He wants an apology. I stopped her and said, apology for what? She said, for saying that he blew up your phone. To which I replied, he did blow up my phone, and I was at work too. Maybe I shouldn't have threatened to block, but he didn't get the point the first 50 times I said it calmly. Summer said just apologize because he's really pissed, and here's where I'm probably the a-hole. No. No to all fucking that. I'm not apologizing because her milquetoast boyfriend, who is basically the human equivalent of a dry ham sandwich, is on some ego trip. I said that but nicer, and she hung up on me. Now I'm thinking I should have sucked it up rather than jeopardize 2 decades of friendship. Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole. You have nothing to apologize for, but he does. Also, any reason why he was convinced you knew where she was? Sounds like there's something else going on there between them.
The only thing I can think of is that back in high school, I'd cover for Summer when she'd sneak out. But we were teenagers, and I haven't done that in about 15 years. If I find out, I'll post an edit, but I completely agree that something else must be going on behind the scenes.
Am I the only one that thinks Summer may be in trouble? This guy sounds unhinged, and I'm not sure she's safe. Not saying that it's your responsibility, but if she was my friend, I would be worried. Regardless, not the a-hole.
He sounds very controlling.
Info: did either of them ever tell you why he was so aggressively urgent about finding her? Does she even know he was concerned to that level?
Nope, no explanation whatsoever thus far. I've been thinking about it, though, and Summer's ex from high school just moved back to town like a week ago. Will might think her disappearing act has something to do with his reappearance, but again, Summer goes off on flights of fancy all the time. As bizarre as her behavior seems, it's 100% normal for her.
Not the a-hole, but I think you may need to have a 1:1 conversation with your friend away from her boyfriend. This is textbook isolationism abuser behavior. I wouldn't write off the entire friendship based on the actions of her unstable partner, especially if they've been together for a year. If this is indicative of a pattern of behavior, the timeline is exactly right for him to start manufacturing conflicts and distance between her and her loved ones, establishing himself as her only source of interaction and affection.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.